Hi guys. So today we are going to talk about the threat hunting app. I wrote an article, I think, 1 year back, and this is about the this app, threat hunting app, which is aligned with the MITRE attack. And I got many requests on this article, and a lot of people have got stuck and they were not able to actually install and make this app up and running. So I thought, let me make a video about it so that it will be easier for all the people who wants to uh, work on this application or threat hunting app. So basically this app is aligned with MITRE's attack framework, and it will map all the events in your environment, to the MITRE's attack framework, to the various tactics and various techniques. So without wasting much time, let's get into the practical. Uh, so the basic requirement is that you need to have a Splunk installed. So I've already installed this Splunk, and then you need to have a sysmon installed. So let's go to event viewer. I've already installed the sysmon as well. So these are the prerequisites which we need to make this app up and running. Application and service logs. Let's get it expanded. And Microsoft, Windows, and then let's go to sysmon. Yeah, there you go, sysmon operational log. So I'm already getting the sysmon logs. So if so first you have to, this is a prerequisite, you have to install the sysmon. So if you are not aware how to install sysmon, I will create another video. Please let me know if you want to know how to get the sysmon up and running. So basically this needs to be installed, and we need to get the sysmon logs. And this is a plain vanilla Splunk Enterprise, installed on the local machine. So, so this will be a standalone instance of Splunk, where this is on my desktop. So obviously it will be standalone. But in the real scenario or the real architecture, you will have a indexers and search heads and the forwarders. So uh, so we'll have to create the indexes and all that stuff. That needs to be done on the indexer part, and the forwarder, so getting the data in, that will be we need to do at the forwarder end. So I'll keep on explaining while I'll be you know uh, actually carry out the steps, so that will be easier for you guys. So first of all, we need to make sure that we have got the index star. What sort of data we are getting? We are not getting anything right now. So first of all, this sysmon data which we are getting here, that we need to ingest into Splunk. That is the first thing. How do we do that? We'll go to the input. Even before we do that, we need to create a couple of indexes. So let's go to indexes and new index. Let me make this small. Okay. So Windows. So we will ingest all the sysmon logs into this index. So enable the index. So we don't need to touch any other uh, settings as of now. We'll just put the index name as Windows, and we'll make that you know data integrity check enable. That's it. And then we'll save this index. Then we'll create one more index named threat hunting, and then we'll data integrity check enable. And then, so now we have got two indexes created. Now we'll go to settings, data inputs. Now we will ingest the data, sysmon data in. So this data on the local event log generation. So I am getting this sysmon data from my local machine only. So that's why I will go to the local event log collection. In the real-time architecture, or the in the enterprise architecture, you need to get your forwarders doing this activity. So your forwarder will collect this sysmon logs and send it across to the indexer. But in this case, it is a standalone instance, so that's why I will be collecting this data from my local machine. So I'll click on local event log collection, and now I need to look for the Microsoft Windows sysmon data, sysmon operational. If you see here, this is under Microsoft sysmon operational. So we'll have to go there here, Microsoft. URSS. Now we'll have to go down to find out the sysmon. Where? Storage. SU, yeah, here, I think. Sysmon operational. It is already there, and it has been selected Windows. Yeah, okay. So sysmon operational, and we'll select the index Windows, and then we'll save this. All right. So we have got this event collection from localhost. This is the log which we are collecting, sysmon operational, and where we are collecting, where we are ingesting these logs into the index name Windows. Now we'll go back to the search, and we'll see if we are getting the logs, the sysmon logs under index Windows. So index is equal to Windows, and yeah, there you go. Now we have got the, earlier we have seen we did not have any logs, but now we have started ingesting the logs in the Windows, and this is nothing but the, if you see here, Windows event log Microsoft sysmon operational. This is a source, and this is a source type. So this is from where we are getting the log, and this is the name of the host or my laptop. Okay. So this is, so first thing we need to make sure that we are having the sysmon logs under index name Windows. So that we have done. Now I'll go to this ThreatHunting GitHub repo, and if you see here, or even we don't need to go here, if you just okay, so now we need to probably install the ThreatHunting app, and then I will tell you what are these applications which I have installed. So let's go to find more apps, and we'll install the ThreatHunting app. ThreatHunting. There you go. This is the app which we want to install. We'll just install. We'll put username, password. It will ask your Splunk account ID. So this will install your app, ThreatHunting app, which is been done. Now, if you see here, it will be shown here somewhere. ThreatHunting, right? This is the app which we have installed. Now, if you go here, if you click on ThreatHunting, okay. So this is a ThreatHunting app, and if you see here, these are the various. Don't bother about the numbers 00 that we will fill out, by the end of this video. But these are the various tactics under MITRE's attack: initial access, execution, whatever, persistence, privilege escalation, defense evasion, credential access, and we will have the here numbers for the techniques. So, for example, if any activity is related to app init DLL, for example, which is example of persistence and privilege escalation, where any malware changes your app init DLL settings into registry. So that is one of the techniques under this couple of tactics, persistence and privilege escalation. So when we change or any malware or any changes to this app in a DLL, for example, this is one of the techniques under MITRE attack. So I can do a separate entire video for MITRE attack explanation, but by now I think most of the people aware what is MITRE attack framework. So I won't get into details, or I won't open the MITRE attack page as of now. But basically, that's what I'm trying to say. We'll get the number of instances here, with respect to techniques which we see getting executed in our environment. So, for example, the logs which are getting into our Splunk, and that log is having any of those techniques, as a part of that, logs, then it will be shown here. I'll show you one example once we are done with this installation. But let's go first to the about this app, and you can see here. Look, these are the few prerequisite apps, required apps, right? So, and if you see getting started, the app will cover a lot of techniques mentioned in MITRE framework, which I already told you. Then make sure that threat hunting index is present in your indexes that we have already created threat hunting app. Now edit macros that we will see later on. If required, we'll do that. But the main thing is under required app status, these are the few apps which we need to install. This is what I have already installed, these apps. This is pretty easy. You just need to go to the find more apps and put the punch card into the search box, and you will be presented punch card, and you just need to install it. So that way you need to install all these applications. These are the supporting application to this threat hunting app. So these are the prerequisite for this app. So it will show the status install. If you see Sysmon add-on, that I'm not adding, because as per my experience, this add-on is creating problem, and we are not able to get the data which we would like to see on the dashboard. That might be my only experience. That might be only my experience, but for sake of safety, I'm not adding this as of now. So let's not add it. And these are the what do you say? These are the lookups which we need to add. So right now, if you see, the status is missing all the lookups. So if you go here on the GitHub of this, you will see here, install the lookup CSVs to create them yourself. Empty CSVs are here. So click here, and it will download all these lookups which I've already downloaded here. And where is it? Is in download. I'll go to the downloads, and I'll go to threat hunting. These are the lookups which we need to copy. We just need to copy and paste into the Splunk app. So go to the Splunk installation where we will see program file Splunk, then etc apps. This is where our threat hunting application is residing, and go to the lookups and just paste it. All the empty all lookups are empty right now. For just getting our application started, we don't need to do anything, or we don't need to fill it out with any data. These lookups are nothing but the exceptions, so that we can allow. So these are the exceptions which will be not considered as a part of the alert. So, but that is something which is beyond this scope of this video. The scope of this video is just to show how we can make this application threat hunting up and running. So we have just copied there all the lookups. Now If you see here right now, the status is missing, and if we refresh it, it should be installed now. The status, yeah, you can see here the all the status is installed. So we are done with our prerequisite here, and now we'll go to the edit macros to verify our configuration. And you just need to bother here about this sysmon configuration, where index is equal to Windows. So we are ingesting our sysmon logs into Windows. That is fine. And source type is either of these two. So because we have not installed TA for sysmon, our source type, our source would be this. So that I've already shown you into this search. So once again, I can show you that that's not a challenge. If you remember, index is equal to Windows. Right now, in this index, we are ingesting sysmon logs, right? And if you see here, there is no XML reference in the starting of this source name. So if you see here, there are two source, XML and then without XML. So we are getting the source without XML because we are not using TA. If the TA is installed, then TA will parse the logs, sysmon logs, and it will parse the source as XML, whatever this name. So we don't need to worry much about it, but this is what configuration should be, and this is what configuration is. So if we just take this query and put it here, we should be able to get the log. The same thing, index is equal to Windows, and then we are saying source is equal to this or this. So so this is, we are getting logs. So far so good. We are getting the result for this. Now this prerequisite part is done for us. Now we'll go to the main dashboard. We'll see whether we are getting anything. Right now we are not getting anything, right? 0 0 0, everything is filled up with 0. So that's fine. Now what we will do, we'll go to apps, threat hunting, and we'll go to this save search. We'll open the save search, open with notepad plus plus is already open here. So now save search, we have opened the save search. Now okay, let's create the event first, and then we'll look. So I've opened the registry editor, and now I'm going to change this app in a DLL under this path. This is the registry which we are going to change, and then we'll see whether we are getting this log into our sysmon log or not. So sysmon event ID 13 is for any changes to the registry. So we will use that event ID 13, and then we'll say if event ID 13 and the path is this computer as local key, software Microsoft, then we'll take that query to get this result or to see this thing. So now we are changing this app init DLL value, and we'll put the, instead of PowerShell, we'll say, let's say CMD. So we have changed it. Now we'll go to Splunk main dashboard. Main search. We'll not go to the app search, and we'll first of all we'll try to identify index is equal to Windows, where we are getting all our sysmon log. Then we will say event code is equal to 13. Now we'll see. So we have got this one event, which I think this is what 2155. Yeah, if you can see here, this is 21. We just did this, and yes, you can see this target object is app init DLL details cmd.exe. So I change it to cmd.exe. So this is the value part. If you remember, I changed the value to cmd.exe. That's what it is showing here, that the value has been changed to cmd.exe. This is the registry location where the changes has been made, and which application made this change. So that is the regedit. I did it to regedit. So I can change this registry setting through PowerShell as well. So in that case, if I change it through PowerShell, then in that case you will see here PowerShell.exe instead of regedit.exe. So far so good. This event is been captured under this. Now we'll go to the, this is saved search of the threat hunting, and we need to identify here app init. We'll look for app init, and then we'll see what search this guy has put here. So it is saying sysmon event this. So we will say will, and this is the path. Okay, so I will copy this entire thing. Copy. This is a search on which we should get the result. So now we need to go to ThreatHunting app. So I'll go to ThreatHunting app, and then there is a search in that. And I'll go to search there, and then say I want to see the result for this. Are we getting anything? No. Why not? Sysmon, this is nothing but the the thing which we have set into the macro earlier, if you remember. So this is nothing but the index is equal to Windows, and then the source type, source is equal to whatever which we have seen. So for that we have put this sysmon, which is coming from the macro. Then either this event IDs, these event IDs are related to registry changes, and then we are saying if the path is app init DLL. So I think now the problem here is with this search, we need to remove this thing. I think we need to do these changes into our application as well, or the save searches thing as well. Now if you see, I've just taken out the the slash which was at the end of the app DLL. Now it is coming here. So that's what I think we need to do here in this as well. So what we will do, we will take out this. And I'm saving this, save search. Okay. So this is how we are getting the result for this. Now we'll go to threat hunting overview. And if you have seen here, not this one, we just, I think, close that thing. Save search, I'll open it again. And if you see here, what these guys are telling. So threat hunting index. So the search for this, and then registry whitelist, which we have kept it blank, and then evil index time. This is the result which we should be able to get as a part of this query result. So basically all this, if you see here, summary index.name threat hunting, here summary action index.name threat hunting. So in each and every techniques, for each and every techniques, all the data is getting collected under threat hunting index which we have created. So now we need to look for if we look for the data, if we are getting any data under threat hunting index. So we'll go to search again here, into ThreatHunting app, and we'll say index is equal to ThreatHunting. So threat, yeah. So we are getting the result, and which source? This is for masquerading. We are getting for this. So yeah, look, this is what now this dashboard has started being filled up with the numbers. So if you see here defense evasion, we have got the 50, right? Now we were following that app in a DLL thing, right? So that also should be here. So that app in a DLL techniques comes under persistence and this privilege escalation thing. So we'll open this thing, we'll in a search, and we'll see why we are not getting that here. We'll see whether we are getting here this. No. So something is wrong somewhere. Okay, let me restart, because after doing this changes here into the query, if you remember, we did this changes right here. We did changes to here this in this search, and we removed this. So after that, I have not restarted the Splunk. So let me restart, and we'll see whether that will make any difference. Server controls, restart Splunk. I'm pausing the video for a while, till this Splunk is getting restarted, and then we'll start again. Okay, so I restarted Splunk, and then now if you see here persistence and privilege escalation, we have got one number noted, one instances have been noted. Now if you see here app in a DLL, persistence and privilege escalation. So under this two MITRE tactics, persistence and privilege escalations, we have got one instance noted, which is app in a DLL, which we changed. So if you click on this, you will get the drill down version of that event. Okay. So this is a technique ID. Which technique it is? App init DLL. There is a change in app init DLL registry value. What category or the tactics under this technique fall? Persistence and privilege escalation. Then this is the event type. This is not event type. This is the host name from where this log has been coming. Process path. Who changed it? Which application has made these changes to the registry value? Regedit. We change this registry value through regedit, right? So that is what it is showing here. Then process ID, process GUID. This is the location registry path which we are looking for, and this is the important thing. What was changed? So we change it to the PowerShell.exe, right? So that's what it is showing. And I'll show you something interesting. This one instance it is showing here. So this is how it is in dashboard. So now we have got dashboards filling up. Probably you need to wait for a while. It took while before it gets reflected this numbers here. This one, privilege escalation and persistence. I think 15 minutes or so, because that is how the search has been written. I think that's my understanding. But yeah, you need to wait for a while, 10-15 minutes, before it gets reflected here. And Okay, now let's go to the search, and then we will search for the index is equal to threat hunting, and we'll say last 60 minutes. What changes we see? Right. ATT&Ck, right, command line, MySQL reading. This is what we are seeing at the dashboard here, 33.1.105, 33.1.105. These are the techniques, and that is being, you know, put under the various tactics of the MITRE's attack framework. So I think this is enough for the demo purpose. So this is how you set up this app, and based on your logs, this all this various kind of numbers will be filled up under various tactics. So yeah, and of course these are the very high numbers, 105 defense evasion and all that. So there are many false positive involved into this. So we need to look for the so basically we need to look into these events. What are these events? Probably some of the legitimate applications are triggering these events. So we need to whitelist this event under the lookups which we if you remember, we put the lookups under this application, ThreatHunting application. So we need to whitelist those under this so that it will not be part of this alert. So that's how. So as soon as you will put this application, you will start seeing a lot of numbers across based on your environment and the scale of your environment. So the challenge here is to to go through these numbers, or to go through this lot of events, mammoth numbers, and then we need to identify what is normal or what is legitimate, and we need to exclude them, and then we'll come up with the events of the interest. So that's how typically we do for any SIEM or SOC environment. But this will give us a very good mapping of MITRE's attack with respect to uh, you know uh, uh, in the application. So MITRE framework is something which is, you can say, it's a very good framework, very comprehensive, but you need to actionize this framework, right? So this is one of the uh, better application through which you can start visualizing MITRE's attack framework in your environment, and then rather you can map the events in your environment to the MITRE's attack framework. And yeah, so that's what we can start with, and then slowly we can improve on this numbers. So yeah, so that's it from me in this video. So please let me know how do you like it, and please share your comments. And yeah, if you need anything on this, like Sysmon or any other fine tuning of this application, or any other thing with respect to Splunk or SIM, probably you can put your comments, and then I will try to make a video on that as well. Thanks a lot. Thanks folks for your time. I hope this will be useful to you guys. Thank you.